and welcome to this edition of AWTC Presents HERstory, a series where we profile our AWTC members. I'm your host, Cecilia Sepp. I'm an AWTC member, and I'm also currently volunteering with AWTC. And welcome to this edition. We are talking with our member, Rheanna Smith. Rheanna, welcome to HERstory. Would you like to tell the audience a little about yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Cecilia, for having me. I'm really excited to be a part of this. Like you said, I'm Rheanna Smith. I'm an association executive director with Ethereum. If some of you know me, you may have noticed that I was with AMS, Association Management Strategies. We were acquired by Ethereum in April and are now transitioning fully over to Ethereum, which is really a group. It's a company that's a group of um, professionals and strategists that specialize in full service association management and corporate meeting planning. So I have the wonderful opportunity of working with three diverse clients. So I'm executive director for an association of attorneys who work within the automotive dealership space. I'm director of operations for an association of life insurance underwriters, and I'm the client lead on an association of pilots and owners of a specific kind of airplane. So it's fun. I love the variety. It's fun. Association management in itself is an industry, but then learning these other industries, legal, insurance, aviation, is really makes my job fun and enjoyable.
Well, and I agree with that. I've been in association management my entire career. So I agree. You get to do lots of different kind of things, and your job sounds really cool. Uh, I just want to ask a follow-up on Ethereum. They're pretty much a nationwide company now. Is that correct?
Absolutely. So they have now four physical office locations. So they have always been in Atlanta, Boca Raton, and Denver. And now with the acquisition of AMS, they're also in DC. So they have a good group of people that work in those offices that are hybrid. They can work remote and work from the office. And then there's a handful of us that are nationwide working remotely.
That's great. Yes, I am somewhat familiar with Ethereum. I've met some of the people from the Atlanta office. So that's
Mhm.
great. What a wonderful growth opportunity for you and everybody there. So you have just outlined how many different kinds of associations you work with. How did you get started working in association management?
Sure. So 12 years ago, I didn't even know what association management was. My previous roles had been in marketing and communications and operational administrative type roles. And at that point, I was really looking to elevate my career and try to find something that took all of these different passions of mine and combined it into the ideal job or the ideal career. And I came across a job posting at an association management company here in Milwaukee, um, and got the job there. That was in 2015. So my first association I worked for was an international association. It was fun to travel to other countries. Since then, Ethereum now is the fourth association management company I've worked for, and I don't know, 8 to 10 different associations that I've been on the team for.
Mhm. Oh, that's wonderful. That's great. And you echo what a lot of people say. I didn't even know what association management was, but then we all grow to love it. So you've been doing this association management for 12 years now. Can you tell us about a time you felt really good about your work?
Absolutely. And this was a more recent thing, I would say, over the past 18 months or so. Two of my three clients implemented new technology platforms. So one of them transitioned to using Novi, an all in one AMS system, and one of them transitioned to Ready Membership. Um, and what I'm really proud of and what made these transformations successful wasn't necessarily the technology itself. Obviously, that's really important, and the features and the functions need to match what the association needs. But it was really what I'm proud of is the change management process. Um, I learned that technology implementations fail or maybe get paused or fall backwards when we focus too much on the features instead of on the people.
Mhm.
So we involved power users early on in the process in the early phases of implementation. We created clear communication plans and we made sure our teams were trained really well on the systems. So it's really about the people who use the technology and not so much the focus on the actual technology itself.
What
Um,
a powerful statement you
yeah,
just made. We focus on the people, not the future. I love that.
yeah,
That's what association management's about.
right.
Wonderful.
And both associations came out stronger with like better member engagement and more efficient operations. And seeing the members navigate the new systems successfully and then watching our teams be more efficient in their day-to-day tasks really made the long days of data migration and hours of user testing worth it in the end. So just a project I'm really proud of.
Oh, what a great example. And you sound very proud of that. Good for you. So, as you're considering your work as a woman in technology and helps other people use technology, what advice helped you in your journey as you were moving along in your career?
Yeah, there's really two that kind of stand out in my brain that I refer to a lot. Um, One was a professor in college. I attended Alverno College, it's an all women's college, so it was very empowering. And also, I was new in my career path and young. And um, what this particular professor scolded me for using the word just. So I would say, I'm just starting out in marketing, or I'm just a customer service rep. And she hated that and called me out in front of everyone else and said, never downplay who you are. Um, so that's always stuck out with me. Another one was a female mentor I had early in my career said, don't wait for permission to be the expert in the room. And I think as women in a tech adjacent industry like association management, we often wait to be invited to the table or think that, or we downplay ourselves because we don't have the right credentials or don't have as many years in the industry as others might. But both of those pieces of advice really encouraged me to like show up as myself and be heard. And I think of that advice often when I'm in board meetings and when I'm talking to vendors and when I'm in team meetings. I try to speak with confidence. I know I've done the research. I know the data. I know the systems. I have the experience. And so those are two really important pieces of advice. And if I may, Cecilia, add kind of one of my own that I'm really passionate about is something we all hear, but it deserves repeating over and over. Investing in your mental health is also professional development, and taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's strategic, and we can't lead from a place where we're running on empty. So I just wanted to throw that out there because most of us learn this the hard way.
That's true. I'm so glad you shared that advice. That is excellent advice for all of us, no matter where we are in our career. So thank you for sharing that. Don't
Absolutely.
downplay your work and your value. Don't wait to be invited to the table. Show confidence and take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You are full of a lot of great advice and knowledge that you have earned from experience.
Oh, thank you.
So, where do you see technology leading associations in the future?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I think I have two seemingly opposite but equally important directions that I see technology going in. The first one is obvious and probably is brought up a lot when you ask this question, increased automation and AI integration. So it's really about like the administrative work that consumes our time, member communications, event scheduling, data entry, basic reporting. I think they already are, but they will increasingly become automated. Using AI, I know I use AI tools first draft of member communications, analyzing data or member engagement, um, optimizing project timing and timelines and deadlines and logistics of events. There's so much it can do. And I think the important thing to remember is that AI isn't going to replace association professionals. It just frees up our time to focus on what technology can't do, and that's the strategic relationship building, the problem solving, and cultivating community for our members.
Oh, that's an excellent statement. Thank you for sharing that. I think
Yeah.
a lot of us are afraid AI will replace people.
Okay. And then my second answer of where technology is taking associations is hyper personalization of the member experience. So we're really moving beyond like a one size fits all situation for our members, even though a lot of these technologies are, a full all in one out of the box experience. Um, we now have member portals where the portals themselves adapt to interests and member engagement and professional goals, and the portals serve um, different content based on who the member is and suggest different connections and recommend different programs to each person. And I think it's an example of um, not necessarily using data to manipulate people, but using it to serve them better. And associations that thrive will be the ones who use that technology to deepen their member connections and not replace it.
So I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
So, as we begin to wrap up our conversation, Rheanna, I'd like to talk a little bit about AWTC. So, what do you like best about AWTC?
Yeah. So I love that AWTC is a community of women, and I realize it's not only women. So it's a community of professionals who get it and understand it, and it is everything that we're all working on in our daily professional careers. So, like when I talk about implementing a new technology platform or navigating a board's resistance to investing in new technology or building a case for technology, everyone at AWTC understands the unique challenges that go along with it. Um, and really, everyone is advocates for technology and adoption and association management. Um,
Mhm.
AWTC provides peer support from others who are doing this high level work. It's one thing to read articles about technology trends and try to stay current on everything that we're supposed to know about technology. But it's another thing to have a Slack conversation with other association professionals who are working on or have been through the exact challenges that I'm experiencing currently. Um, I also appreciate AWTC's commitment to making technology knowledge accessible. Not everyone has a tech background, and AWTC doesn't gatekeep, they educate. So, whether you're a program manager or a coordinator or an executive director, just trying to understand options, there's space for everybody at AWTC. And honestly, the network I've built from AWTC is really important to me. I participated in AWTC's focus groups last year. And in this group, we really helped each other through some challenging times and some frustrating situations. And we still stay in touch. So the focus group time period is over, but we have set up um, 2 times a month a meeting that is just on our calendars, and we can hop in that Zoom call and talk, get caught up or talk out frustrations or challenges. So it's amazing to have that group of women to rely on and just to have it in my life.
Yes. Oh, just well said. Yes, it's such a wonderfully supportive community. I agree. Thank you for saying that, Rheanna. So, my last question for you is why should someone join AWTC and why should they get involved? I think you've already started to answer this with that wonderful endorsement of the networking opportunities. But is there anything else you would like to encourage people to learn about AWTC?
Yeah, I think people should just, hop on the website and look at what AWTC has to offer. There's some really great events. I learned a lot at the AMS demo conference that AWTC does on a regular basis. I went to one a couple years ago in DC. That's how I found Ready Membership, which is what one of my clients just switched to. But I think people should join AWTC if they feel like they need to prove themselves when it comes to technology solutions. Um, Join AWTC if you're the person your association turns to with technology questions, but you don't have a formal technology background. And sometimes you feel like you might be a bit of an imposter. A place like AWTC really helps with that imposter syndrome and will, give you the tools you need to have those conversations.
Mm.
And then also, if you want to learn from others who've successfully navigated technology transitions and change management, um, everyone is willing to share their playbooks. So it's like there's no secrets. We all help each other. We recommend people and companies and websites and learning opportunities. So AWTC really provides us exactly what we build for our associations, which is a community. Um, and with technology transforming, I mean, it's transforming everything, but it's transforming associations faster than ever. Um, Having a network of people who are navigating the transformations alongside of you is invaluable.
Oh, yes, I agree with that 100%, Rheanna. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for your obvious love of AWTC and support for the organization. And thank you for joining me for this edition of Her Story. If you'd like to learn more about AWTC and find out about the wonderful experience that Rheanna described, go to our website, awtc.tech. You can see the entire option list of in person and virtual networking and education events. As Rheanna mentioned, we have a lot going on at AWTC, including our Slack community. Currently, we do not have a membership fee. So if you join, it is no fee and you get so much value out of the organization, like our flagship conference, AWTC Advance. So check out our website again, awtc.tech. You can learn about other members of AWTC through our HERstory series. You could be on HERstory. And as Rheanna said, you don't have to be a woman or a techie to join, just a person who's committed to helping other people and wanting to learn. So thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.